Hi everybody, this is Mildred from Mildred's Book Nook, and I am here to do a whole bunch of things. I missed you guys on Friday to kind of give you my reading update, but I wanted to get an update in actually before Friday, only because how the first fell too quickly. Like, I just feel like because there's so much things that I do want to read this month, I don't want us to get too far into the month before I talk to you about what I'm going to be reading. And I also want to pick my book so I can kind of plan my reading out for the month, because I need to do my blind TBR as well, and talk to you about the books that I have planned on reading. But before we get there, first let's talk about the weather, and then we'll talk about what I read last month. It's light rain right now, and I didn't knock on wood hard enough because they're talking about maybe getting some snow today. I don't know what that's about. I think it's going to be in higher elevations, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But the thing that is concerning is that we have a wind advisory coming up, because the winds could be getting up as high as 50 to 60 miles an hour, with rain, snow, and wind. So, and it's supposed to go from later today into tomorrow. So, I was just getting ready to literally do a kind of a survey of my yard to see what I want to do this year. I have some different plans this year, and I'm like, I don't really want to think about snow or that. I know we're supposed to get rain this time of year. That's fine, but snow, no. So we'll see. Right now it's light rain, and that's where we are with it. We'll see. We'll see. So let's see. So last month, March Mystery Madness, I was trying to crank out some books for that, and I did a really good job, I think. I read Against the Current by Olivia Matthews and loved it. Totally getting the other two, so I can kind of crank through them. I don't know whether I want to do them sooner or later. Like, do I want to... I'm hiding my cookies behind here. Can you see them? I don't know if you can see them. I bought these cookies at Whole Foods, and they're really little, which is bad because then you're like, oh, there can't be that much. Oh yeah, but these are shortbread cookies, and they're so yummy. They have pecans in it. So I'm hiding that from you while I'm talking, so I can grab my water because I'm choking. So I really like this. I feel like I want to read the other ones when it gets warmer, so like maybe June. But I definitely want to get the other two, because I think the set's going to be so cute together. And I kind of love, even though it's funny, this is what was the big deal when I was younger, and that's dating myself. And then we moved away from that and we got to bigger books. Like, I like this size now a lot. Yeah, I think that's about the size. This is a little bit bigger. But this is about the size that I like now. But there's something about, like, especially cozies, I think are so cute when they're in these kind of format. And so I'm going to definitely get the other ones. This is a really good, book following, the main character and her bakery. And I don't know what's going to happen in the other two, if it's going to stay around her bakery or what. But the recipes, I still have yet to try them, but I do want to do those. So there's that. This one I really enjoyed it. I think it was just, I've got my little notes here inside of it. This was the Bangalore Detectives Club. I don't know, I'm sitting like so close to this, like you can't see me. And this one by Hermione Nagendra. Was really good. Definitely want to read more of this series as well. So this is the first, both of these were the first in their series, so I definitely have an opportunity to read and see. I also like to look, especially when you go to the next book, to see how the author progresses with the story, and also their writing, especially if it's a debut. This was not her debut. I believe she's, like I said, I've read other books by her, and I think they came out before that. So it's just a new one. This one, I don't know if this was her debut or not, but I like to read it. So yeah, so that was good. Those two were good for my March Mystery Madness. And then my book for the blind TBR was The Drve by Jane Harper. I've been wanting to read this forever. It was really good, and a little dark, but but I liked it a lot. I really want to see what the next one is about, and I can see why people are drawn to it. And I think this is the first in many. I don't know how many in this particular series by this Australian author. And I'm really excited that I finally got this up. So this is really working out well for me. I'm definitely feeling it is making me excited to read these books, and also happy and feel accomplished when I do complete them. So because I know I finished this, I know I get to go in here and pick another one. So I'm excited about that. The next one was Thicker Than Water by Kerry Washington, a memoir. I really enjoyed this. I took a couple quotes and put them in my book journal from her. I don't know if I can find them fast enough. But I really enjoyed her. Let's see if I can get it. Her book. No, that was February. Let me see this one here. March. Did I write it in here? If I wrote it in here, I could read it to you. Here's one. We have the ability to be the heroes of our families, our communities, and our lives. It's important to remind people of that truth. You have what it takes to make an impact. What is your hero journey? I just like that one. I like that one because, you know, I'm always trying to figure out what it is that I'm, you know, what are the many things, but that I'm here for. And how can I make an impact? My mom was very much an activist, and was very ingrained into a lot of different things. And I am still trying to struggle to figure out where my place is. It's like, I feel like she figured it out and just kind of went with it, whereas I'm still like, you know, dabbling and researching and not really feeling yet that I've found what it is that I really want to be passionate about. So I really like that, and I like, I really enjoyed her book. Yeah, like a little preview quick of my page I did with her, some stamping in here. It was really cool, and that was Thicker Than Water. It was really a good book. I think that it was interesting to hear about her journey to finding out about her father not being her father, and how she handled it so gracefully, and how she continues to support her parents and love them, and also talking about traumas. There's some definitely trigger warnings in here, some traumas that had occurred in her life and how she handled them, and how she's handling them, I should say. So that was, you know, surprising and very interesting to read. So I did really enjoy that, which I'm glad. I like to read. I do like reading memoirs. I don't know, I kind of fell off of it for a little while. Now, the other one is this one, and I'm going to have to do another video to talk about this one because I've been pumping this book. And this is Neighbors and Other Stories by Diane Oliver. And here goes my throat. This is what it's going to be like for the next few months, is me in a water bottle. Another coaster. So here's the thing. This is me. I want to say this year is my year of short stories because I've never really read that many short stories. I've kind of focused on books, full stories. And one of the things I was talking to my husband about this is that I am enjoying some of the stories in here. Some of them, a few of them, I couldn't grasp where I was going with it. And did I feel it was complete, or did I feel like I knew what the message was? No. One of the things that I would like to be able to do, and I think it's a skill, because I think just like with poetry, which is still elusive to me, it's just, and maybe next year, I don't know, maybe later on this year, but I think next year, maybe I will make it a point to try to push more poetry into my life as well and challenge myself, because I don't want to be scared of it. But as with short stories, similar to like poetry, there's a skill to kind of interpreting what is being said literally and what they want you to kind of, I don't know, kind of get from it that's not so obvious. I'm sorry, I feel like I have a cookie in my teeth. And so with regards to the short stories, this is what I was saying to my husband, and he was like, that's an interesting way of thinking about it. As I'm reading these stories, I'm trying to find a tie, or trying to figure out what it is that makes this book a collection, right? That's the word. That's a good word. I think about when I read, like, here it is. I'm going to grab it really quick. Because it's on the floor. Everything's on the floor right here. I just kind of dumped it on the floor. But like One of the Family. Okay, so when I read this one, I'm sitting on my book. When I read this book, this one was following Mildred and her friend Marge. They were talking, it was a dialogue between them about Mildred's experience as a domestic worker, right? And so they're tied because of not only the character that's narrating through the stories, but also she's talking about her experience. Although there were a couple of stories in here, I have to say, that were not. They were like when she talked about her family coming to visit and wanting to see the city. So there are other things, but she was the thread that pulls you through, and there was like a theme that I got from it, right? So having said that, what I want to know is, what is the theme that's going through these beyond just, or maybe it is just being in that time period. And is that what, this is, okay, so she died in 1966. So let's say that this was in that time period. So is that what the thread is that keeps these together as a collection, right? Beyond stories just about Black people and Black experience. And so what I'm going to do, I finished it, but what I'm going to do is go back, and I really, really appreciated Tayari Jones's introduction. At first, when I read this, and I don't know if any of you picked it up, I was a little taken aback, because I was like, wait a minute, she's telling me too much. Like, I don't want too much spoilers about what these stories are about. But what I did say then, and what I'm saying now, is that I think it would be important to go back to the introduction again to see her take on what some of these themes were, and what some of these stories were, what she felt that they were bringing out or shedding light on, right? And I want to see if that aligns with the things that I wrote in my notes, and then also if it can help elevate. That's the beauty, like I said, of book discussions. Like I said, when I'm in book clubs, I always come in and I'm always in a different place, no matter what. Even if I absolutely loved a book, when I leave the discussion, there's just so much more. It's so much of a richer experience to get other people's opinions about a book. And it's helpful. It's really helpful, because I am not an expert, and I feel like it's really nice to get like other people's perspective and analysis and their experience. What's coming out of their mouths is from their experience of what they have read as well. So I enjoy this. There were some stories I did not necessarily, I don't say I didn't. Well, there's one story in particular that I was like, I didn't understand. And I will admit that to you guys, because there's no sense of me pretending I'm anybody that I'm not. And it was here later in the book that I didn't understand. And I kept forcing myself to try to figure out what's going on. And I'm like, I don't understand. I moved on to the next story. So I did not complete that one story in here. And then I went on, and I really enjoyed some of them more than others. But what I want to be able to say at the end is, what is the overarching theme? What are the takeaways? Are any of these stories speaking to each other? Something like that, So I have finished this one, and I was hustling because like this month is coming up and I have so many books that I want to read. So yeah, we got to get on it. So there's that. There's my thought on Neighbors and other stories. Now, this month, I'm so excited. Okay. So I am so excited because remember, I pre-ordered this baby, right? I pre-ordered James by Percival Everett because I wanted to read it. When I heard the description about this several months ago, I was like, I gotta get it. And what I want to do is read this and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and then I'm going to like think it out. And so bam, then I pre-ordered this, I went and bought this, and I waited for this to arrive. This has arrived, and this is the time. I, just like I had said then, I want to kind of see how they go together and how they don't. And this will help me appreciate this, and this will help me appreciate this. So this I will read first, and then this. That's the goal this month. For all of you that are not watching my other videos, this may be the first, so you just dipped in to see what's going on. This one is a retelling kind of Huckleberry Finn, but it's from James, the black character in the story. It's from his perspective, and so it should be really interesting how he kind of flips. He's going to flip things, and it's just going to be great. I know it's going to be great, and there's going to be a lot to talk about. So I will definitely do this and do a separate video to talk about it. I know other people are going to be doing that as well, because it's just, it's nice. And because I think my nose is running. Oh my goodness. Because I know I'm trying to read more classics, this is the type of scenario that I want to happen. Like something modern and something old, and see how I can help me appreciate the old even more, right? I have never read this as a kid that I recall. I remember seeing the movies, but I never read the book. So my nose is itchy. Oh my God. Itchy nose, itchy runny nose, and a scratchy throat. So there we go. So this is one of the things that I want to do this month. So this is why I was hustling. This one, I don't know if I can read the description because there's a sticker on the back of it, but this is the book that we're reading for Read So Lit Book Club, and it's The Belly of the Atlantic by Fatou Diome. Okay, I will just read what this, let me see, the story of, see, I can't believe that. And I should have gotten and they don't have a little sleeve here. This author is from Senegal. Okay, and this story, let me see if I can get this off. I don't think it's going to come off. I don't want to waste your time because I want to get to this too. But this story, let's see, one of the blurbs says, this charming, vivid, and poetic book captures the poignancy of immigrant life and all the unresolved pain of Africa's relationship with its former colonial powers. That was by Michela Wrong, is that his name? And in her memorable novel, Diome confronts the refractions of post-colonialism with a rare vigor, combining a lacerating intelligence with the warm heart of a poet, and that's Alison Fell. I can't get the sticker off of here until I read this to you. When I get back to you guys again, I will read this to you. But this is what we have to read. I'm not too crazy about the small font. It is a short book, but because the font is so small, it's really a longer book. But I think I can pull this off and get this done because I skipped last month. So I definitely want to try to get to this month for them. So there's that, right? And then we get to pick one from here. I don't know. I hope it's something good and not too big, because that's going to be, that's going to be enough for me. You know me, 3-4 books is big. All right, so we have it here, and there's no cheating involved. They're all in there. I'm going to reach my hand in. And then grabbing a flower. No, okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. And the number is, and the winner is, the Golden Globe goes to 18. Okay. Oh, 18 is on the side. Okay, here is 18. Okay, so it's a soft cover. Doesn't look too big. This is number 18. Let me make sure I prove to you that it's 18. On the spine, you see 18, and you see 18 here on our slip. And I didn't double check. I feel like my thing isn't recording. Won't this be horrible if it didn't record? But I will take it back up. Okay. Oh, I think I know about the back. Can you tell? Can you tell by the back? Do you remember what book it is? I think this is let me see. I don't remember the name of it. Yes. It kind of reminds me of spring. I love that the cover is like springtime. This is the 100 Wells of Salaga or Salaga. It's a novel by Aisha Haruna Atta. And this is the cover. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and it makes me so happy. You know, my favorite color is green. So I love that this is a green book I get to carry around for a month. All right, let me read the description to you guys. Okay. Oh, wow. And it's signed, too. Signed copy. I do remember getting this. I think I got this for one of my birthday book hauls. If you went back a couple of years, way back, I got this, I believe, at this bookstore in the book hall. Yeah, so this is based on the experience of the author's great-great-grandmother in pre-colonial Ghana. Ooh, so I have 2 African books. A story of courage, forgiveness, love, and freedom, told through the eyes of 2 women born to vastly different fates. Amina lives an idyllic life until she is brutally separated from her home and forced on a journey that turns her from a daydreamer into a resilient woman. Wurshe? Oh, how do I pronounce that? Wurshe, I'm going to say, the willful daughter of a chief, is desperate to play an important role in her father's court. Their lives converge as infighting among Wurshe's people threatens the region during the heights of the slave trade at the end of the 19th century. Through the story of these remarkable strong women who challenge the expectations placed on them by society, The 100 Wells of Salaga offers an intimate, authentic look at what it was like to live and think in Africa before the colonial era. Ooh, that would be very interesting, right? At once heartbreaking and inspiring, this novel is essential reading for those who loved homegoing and things fall apart. All right. Well, all right. So, yeah. I'm kind of happy about this because this is another one. Oh, here's a picture of the author. She grew up in Accra, Ghana, and was educated at Mount Holyoke College, Columbia University, and New York University. Her writing has appeared in the New York Times Magazine, Asymptote, and 2000. She's in the 2010 Kane Prize Writers Anthology. Atta is an Instituto Secretar Fellow and was awarded the 2016 Miles Moreland Foundation Scholarship for Nonfiction. She lives in Senegal, and this is her picture right there. And this is the cover again. Oh, right? Even it's just pretty, even on the back and the spine. It's just lovely. All right. Okay. I'm excited. So, these are my books for this month in April. We have our blind TBR. We've got my book club selection. And we've got my classics. We're rolling with classics. And we'll see what happens. I'm excited to start reading these. I am going to get right on the Huckleberry Finn because I don't know. I'm not sure how fast I'll read it. My goal is to get it done by the end of the month. I'm not going to try to push it any faster than that because it's just not, I want to experience it. So I want to experience both of these. So I'm going to go boom, boom with these 2. And then this one. And then this one probably would be the last one that I'll read. If I was thinking about the order, how I was going to read it. So yeah, like that. So that's probably what's going to happen. We're going to hopefully it won't spill over into the next month, but I do anyways, because I did that this month. I literally just finished The Neighbors and Other Things. So yeah, and also the Bangalore Detective Club. So the Bangalore Detective Club just reminded me a lot of Sujata Masay's books. And I really enjoy what I liked about this character in the Bangalore Detective Club book. I'm sorry, I'll show it while I'm talking. Is that I love how the main character, she's not only smart and is recognizing the limitations in society at the time period, but her husband is really supportive. And I like that. He really seems like a real true partner with her, as opposed to, painting all of the men of that time in one way. I like that her husband seems progressive and seems like he really wants to support her in her endeavors and isn't intimidated by her intelligence. So I really like that. So there's that. So I'm definitely going to get the next one of this one, like I said, and the next one of Olivia Matthews' book. I'm going to get that one too. And look at, we're cranking. There's less. I mean, there's more here, but back here we got wiggle. So I am making progress. I always keep this because I put this in my journal, my other journal, you know, like a picture of what it is, the book that I'm reading for that month and what number it was, so I can kind of keep track of it. So I will do that. And I'm going to cross my fingers that when I get up from here that this is recording and that I that's my fear. Any other time it's no problem, but when I knew that I'm doing something like opening something, that's why I carefully opened this, because I didn't want to make it like, you know, yeah, so just in case. Anyways, let me know what you guys are reading. Are you guys having storms? Are you still having snow when you're not supposed to? Like I said, it's just light rain right now. I don't think we're going to get anything accumulating, but it could happen. You never know. You know, it can happen. So we will see this card again next month, and I will see you guys next week. Let me know what you're reading again, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.